This episode of Outdoor Journal Radio is brought to you in part by the Invasive Species Centre, protecting Canada's land and water from invasive species. Freedom Cruise Canada, rent the boat, own the memories. And J&B Cycle & Marine, your home for all things power sports, boats, and equipment.
Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Don't get me started.
I love that song.
I know you do.
You know why I love it so much?
Because you love me so much.
I do. And that's part of it, because every time I hear that song live, that means I'm on the road with these guys.
Hello.
Yeah. Give me a hell yeah.
Speaking of which, hey, everybody, welcome to the Outdoor Journal Radio podcast. Obviously, it's an On the Road again, and obviously, Mr. Angelo Viola is with us today. But in his place, I have my good friend Steve Niedzwiecki, co-host of Fishing Canada. Of course, Dean Taylor's over there.
Come on now.
Doing all that crazy stuff. And a very, very special, I know Stevie's special, but very, very special is our new camera operator to the crew, Mr. Rick Dolishny. And
Give me a hell yeah!
He's a hell yeah. Can you hear that stuff? Can you hear the audio, Ricky?
Oh, yeah. I can hear it.
Good.
Sounds good.
Oh,
Great to be here with you, boys.
Yeah, man. It's good to have you, buddy.
Yeah, and Rick, you're kind of new, but you've been around with these guys for like 15 or 20 decades, haven't you?
Yeah, it's about, you said 15, 20 years.
Something like
Try
that.
again.
Yeah, decades.
probably about
20
30
decades.
years here and there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Ricky's been with us for a while, but we got him back on the crew, and this obviously is an On the Road Again podcast. So we are coming to you from Buck Lake Lodge on Buck Lake, but it's not. What's the name of the lake, guys? What's the real name? Has anybody got it written in front of them?
Obakamiga?
Obakamiga, I think it is.
Obakamiga.
Yeah.
They say Obakamiga, and then Buck is the short form for it, in the Algoma region of Ontario. And we're here to do another Fishing Canada show. We work with Destination Ontario throughout, we have a certain number of shows we do every year for them. And this lodge came up through our process of choosing lodges. And Ange had to stay back, and I got my good buddy, Etienne, Stephen is with me. Monsieur. And here we are on Buck Lake, and ready to rock this podcast, buddy.
Come on now.
Oh, yeah, it sounds good. And we flew out of a good friend of the show.
Hornpain, Ontario.
Yeah, the home of Chris King.
Kinger. We called him, and he hasn't called us back. And he must not like us too much.
Shame on you, Chris.
Kinger,
but I'm sure he's in a warm place with his wonderful wife, and I can't blame him for that.
Exactly. You can't blame him for that. He'll call us back. He'll ask us how it was and all that. Maybe we'll see him on the way out.
Well, you never know.
We're flying out in a day and 2 days, right?
Yeah, well, he calls home Bracebridge,
Right, he does now.
He was born in Bracebridge because he couldn't be born in Hornpain back in the days when he was born. I don't know how old that makes him, but that's a long time.
I didn't see any. Usually you got you go to Aurelia, you got a home of Bobby Orr, the big signs and all that. I didn't see anything for Kinger and Hornpain. Did you see anything?
Well, not in Hornpain, but I know in Bracebridge in the arena. They have a nice painted photograph in the old barn of Chris. So, at least they got him somewhere.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know he always talks about bragging about, he knows like the Agiches, they come from here. So some of the people that own the lodges in this area, and Kinger knows a lot of them in that. So he always talks about his roots in Hornpain. So
yes, he does.
It's a very tiny little town. It's one of those quaint little northern Ontario towns. It's the people are all awesome. We went to was it not Motel 6. It's but Odette, the lady that works there,
God.
She was hilarious.
A sweetheart.
We had a great night when we stayed over the first night there. So, we got some good stories going already before the trip even started. So,
and the best part about it is it's a hotel and it's brand new. They cater
Studio 6.
Studio 6.
Studio 6. They cater that. Yeah, you're the man, Diener. And they cater to outdoors people. All the time.
Well, that's pretty much all they have. Well,
and it's a party. It's awesome.
You got some flow through traffic to go north from south to north.
Miners and loggers.
But again, that's kind of outdoorsy too. They're the same type of people as
for sure,
anglers and hunters and all that stuff. So that's all they do up here, right? Everybody's the outdoor type of people here. So
when it's encouraged while you wait to be checked in to have a beer in the lobby. Yeah, that's an awesome place.
Yeah, we like that. That's a good place.
Oh, yeah.
So shout out to Odette at
Studio 6.
Studio 6. Okay, I keep forgetting.
Yeah. It's like that bar back in the 70s. Studio.
In New York? The one in, or was it?
Studio 64.
54?
54. That's why you're,
Look at Ricky.
Showing my
Ricky
age
is
here.
old.
Your preference in music too, the old disco.
Oh, God. Yeah, man. So, anyways, let's start. Obviously, Steve, we always got to put our plugs in for fishingcanada.com. I see you got a little bit of swag on there. Fishing
Always
Canada.
do. Well,
that. I got a little Fishing Canada on there.
Maybe I better do this here quick.
What the hell?
You see that reversal of the old headphones,
cable
and
off
now
your
there's
logo?
no cable on the logo.
I don't think that blocked too much there, but
Well-
but you're looking fine. I'm telling you, Mr. Dean Taylor. He's on camera, but he's doubled up.
Come on now.
His hat and shirt. I got the same shirt as Dino on that you can buy at fishingcanada.com or shop.fishingcanada.com. And today, Stevie and I are sporting. Have I got my sail one on?
Yeah, you do.
Stevie and I are sporting our sail logo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
I like this.
Sail is a big sponsor of Fishing Canada again now, so we're back on board with those guys. So if you're looking for anything hoodie wise, hats wise, anything wise, you want to buy some swag for yourself or your family members or your friends or whatever, check it out, fishingcanada.com or shop.fishingcanada.com. So stuff's great there, and it's cheap, and it's quality. Last year forever.
Yeah, and for sure. And get on there and take the poll so you can tell us what you want to buy.
Like,
Come on now.
Like what? What would you buy, Stephen? What would you put in the poll?
In the poll?
You want to, like, say there's something not on the list. What would you want to buy? Say,
What would you want our
I'm
logo
Steve.
on?
I would like, honestly, after my little mishap, maybe a embroidered Fishing Canada compression sock that goes up to my thigh.
I thought he was going to say underwear because he crapped his pants in the boat or something. I forgot about that
That's
story.
another good one.
That's the best story ever. Oh, Steve's got... Okay, if you ever get with Steve, I'm not going to tell him to tell this story. We could get him to do it. Maybe on your podcast, maybe you can do it. But if you're ever talking to Steve at a sportsman show or anything like that, ask him about pooping his pants at Lake Nipigon. You will laugh your ass off.
I was just a kid, too.
Dean and I laughed so hard yesterday when he told us the story. I've heard the story before, and I still laughed hard. So, and your delivery, buddy, on that story, hey Steve, hey Dino,
That's amazing.
It's the best delivery ever. He is like he's practiced it. So.
Okay, well then head on over after this podcast. I'm doing a podcast for Diaries of a Loner. Diaries of a
Diaries of a poopy pants
Diaries
loner.
of a Loner. Diaries of a Lodge owner with John and Shannon, the owners of this beautiful place. So I will find a place to tell that story there.
Yeah, it's a good one, everybody. So, anyways, listener feedback. We'll go to that, Dino. You want to do that next?
Yeah, let's do that.
It's from at GFear24 via YouTube in response to the video of Pete, myself, catching a guitar. You want to read it out, Steve, or do you want me to read it?
No, I can read it.
Sure.
GFear24 says, while I personally can't top that, I have a friend whose father caught a dead body. Oh my.
Oh my is right.
Yes, who caught a dead body in Park Hill several years ago while pike fishing. It was in a shallow area, about 3 feet deep, and he hooked the arm, which he pulled up to the surface. Oh. Yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be something? Needless to say, the second he seen it, he called the proper authorities to come and pull it out. Also, he's never been back to that spot. I wonder why.
You know what? I've often thought of that or feared that or whatever. And all the times that I'm on the water, I just wonder, even just seeing a body floating, not just hooking into it, but seeing a bloated body or something like that floating. And I've often wondered if, I'm sure somebody that we know has probably seen that too or whatever. But I'm always kind of just afraid of it, that it's going to happen. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's in the back of my head. I don't know why that is either, because it shouldn't be. This is the last thing you should be thinking of when you're out in the water, but it's always there for me. I don't know why.
The first year I owned the lodge, in the winter, and the Upper French River is a bit of a treacherous spot for snowmobilers because the current is, and there's
shit ice.
Yeah, and there's 2 spots out there that have big flashing beacons. There's the Keystone Shoals and Sugarloaf. The keystones are up close to Lake Nipissing, and that's basically the limit of where you can drive a vehicle. So there's lots of ice there. The Sugarloaf is in the Narrows, and it does not freeze well,
Narrows are
if
bad.
at all.
Yeah.
And someone got turned around in a snowstorm and thought the red flashing beacon of Sugarloaf was Keystone, and they went down. Shit. And they were looking for them for the body that spring. So I didn't see it. We kind of helped a little bit to look, but they found the person, and I'm glad they found them, but I'm glad it wasn't me.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
It's nasty, eh?
Yeah.
Imagine being those scuba divers that have to do that job. Like, what kind of training, not scuba diving training, what kind of mental training does it take for a person to go down and look for dead bodies, knowing you're going down and looking for a dead body? That's a badass job. Right
yeah,
there,
it is. It's just like all of our first responders, too, for car accidents and
and
firefighters and all those people. They do a wonderful job at everything.
Yeah. Anyways, great story, G-Fear. That's G-Fear 24. That's not a question, is it, Dino? So we're not doing that. That's not in there.
That's just some feedback.
Perfect. And thank you for sending that in. It was via YouTube. Send it in any way you can. info@fishingcanada.com, YouTube, Fishing Canada, Instagram, Fishing Canada, Facebook. Any of those will do, and we'll try and get it on the podcast for you. So thanks very much. It's a good story, actually, and it brings back my fear, my on the water.
Well,
phobia.
everybody should have a little bit of fear when you're on the water.
Grass carp, Stevie. Do you know what a grass carp is?
It's a carp that grows in grass.
That's right. That's correct.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the Asian carp. And the big issue that we have with Asian carp potentially being in our waters now.
Exactly. And do you know what one looks like? A grass carp in particular, let's say in this, there's 4 species, but we'll just say the grass carp. Do you know what a grass carp looks like?
Looks like a grass carp.
Be honest with me.
You know what?
This is going to go somewhere.
I'm going to tell you what I know.
Okay.
I know what carp look like, and if I saw a grass carp, and I've seen pictures and looked at them, but I can't tell you any defined features of that fish right now. But I feel like if I caught a carp that looked very weird, it wouldn't make a difference whether I knew it was a grass carp or not. I'd report it.
Right. I get you, but they don't really look like a common carp as much as you think they do. Like, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking the common carp and the mirror carp, which are the ones we see. They're thick body, and they're stout, and they're thick this way. Well, grass carp are long and skinny, et cetera, et cetera. You got different mouths in our carp and all that. So they are quite a bit different. They can be mistaken for other fish. So what you need to do, this is my point here. This is what I'm going to say. You need to go to asiancarp.ca.
And check it out.
Download into your phone the imagery.
Oh, that's a great idea,
and
folks.
then you will go, what is it? Oh, that's that grass carp, and you will dispose of it, and they will dispense of it, and put it in somewhere, and look.
Well, I think you've got to report it, because I'm sure they're going to want to see the body.
I would freeze it or do something with it and give it to asiancarp.ca or the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But you have to report it, or you should report it. You don't have to, but you should do your due diligence on it.
They're I don't want to say they're going to be devastating, because I'm hopeful that we can keep it under control.
They have the potential to be devastating.
But they have a very real potential to be devastating.
So there you go, everybody. I just gave Steve the lesson that everybody needs to do. You've heard Angela and I harp about it. Go to asiancarp.ca, learn what they look like, and then make sure you take the measures to report it, et cetera, et cetera. And you can kill it. There's no problem killing it, because it's a good thing that you're going to do. So.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Next time, what's up? What's up, Dino?
The news.
I
think
the news.
Brought to you by J&B Cycle.
Brought to you by J&B Cycle and Marine, Ontario's largest Princecraft Mercury dealer. Ange thinks it's the world's largest, but I think he's mistaken on that. I think there's 1 or 2 more that are bigger, but J&B are
J&B are big, but
you got that right. Yeah, they got everything outboards. They got Princecraft boats, outboard motors, ATVs, snow machines. What else do they sell, Dino? They have everything there. You name it.
They will have us there this fall.
Hey, And are you coming on that shoot too? Stevie might be coming on that.
Yeah,
one.
I think I'm coming on that shoot.
do a little meet and
Yeah,
greet
I
and
think we're
Dancing
going to
with the
do
wolves
that.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. And you can't forget they're fully equipped with Princecraft fishing models
Of course.
of boats from.
Well, they're in Timmins and Sudbury. They're going to have fishing models for sure. You know what I mean?
Of course, but you didn't mention it, right? Because we're advertising to the world here.
True.
Like this,
they have Princecraft pontoon boats as well.
100%.
And deck boats as well.
Yep.
So they do cater to everybody on that. So
families for sure.
yeah. So anyways, this news story brought to you by J&B Cycle and Marine. Should Ontario restock Arctic Grayling? Now, I had no idea Ontario ever had.
No,
Arctic
it was a
Grayling
surprise
in
to
the
me.
past like that. But Dino had dug this up. Dino, you want to give us a little insight on this one? I haven't read anything on really about this.
Yeah. So I saw that Michigan. So I think a few years ago they announced they would be bringing back the Grayling, and I never knew they had them either.
Oh wow! Yeah.
But then when I looked up the range, so I think actually Michigan's just released their first, or they've just hatched maybe the first ones they're going to stock.
Really?
Yeah, it's starting
Okay.
next year.
Starting next year.
Okay.
But I never knew they had them. So then that made me look into, were they ever here? And
Yeah.
they actually were. So what I can find, other than probably like way north in Ontario, the only place we had them was actually in Muskoka. So,
And that's crazy, eh?
which was the Chalk Lakes, which is just south of Bracebridge, I think. Red chalk and blue chalk.
So in my mind, Arctic Grayling would need Arctic like water, like frigid, super
for
cold,
sure.
super clean. And anytime I've ever encountered them, that's what they've been in, right?
Well, they evolved from glacial runoff.
Yeah. I mean, they're in Great Slave, Great Bear, Northwest Territories, Nunavut, et cetera. Northern Saskatchewan, or I'm sure northern Manitoba too, the very top of it. But I didn't know, I had no idea that. So these lakes, are they somewhat like, they'd be lake trout lakes, obviously,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They're deep lake trout lakes.
Spring-fed.
Spring-fed.
Spring-fed, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
that's interesting.
so I guess they were dropped there when the glaciers receded and had been there since, I think until like the late 1800s. They were in there.
Oh, wow.
But then once word got out that they were in there, from what I read a little article on somebody who had family on the lake like forever, like generations and generations, and they were trying to keep it hidden. But once it got kind of announced and people knew they were in there, they got got kind of hammered.
So people fish for them then. They
back in the way back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah, the turn of the century.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? To me, what also would be crazy is the thought of even having a legal season on them, no matter what. I mean, how long ago were they fishing for them? How many?
Like 1800s.
Yeah, I guess they would. I don't know the seasons
No,
wouldn't even have them then. Probably.
I would be surprised if there were seasons.
Yeah,
People
they
were just
probably
trying to
wouldn't.
survive and put food on the
Because
table.
nowadays, we go grayling fishing, and many of these lodges we go to in Northwest Territories, et cetera, and you can't keep them. You have to throw them back. There's just certain parts. In BC, we tried eating them there, right? We had them in BC and Northern Rockies Lodge, and they were delicious, by the way. They're
They're
really
not
good
as
eating, but-
precious in BC.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they're just kind of like you hook them by accident, whatever.
Isn't that funny, eh?
But here, they could survive if they were like way up north, but in Muskoka, you'd have a tough time keeping them, I think.
I just can't picture any of the Muskoka Lake, because a Muskoka Lake is, well, it's a way farther south than we are right now. If you think about a lake trout lake up here somewhere in the Algoma region, even that to me is not cold enough and clean, clear, pristine enough. As the Arctic. I mean, yes, they have. Don't get me wrong, they have cold, clear lakes up here and clean lakes up
But
here.
they've got to be solidly spring fed.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
it's gotta be gin clear.
The lake itself must be an artesian well.
Yeah.
So maybe brook trout lakes. Maybe it's something to do with some brook trout waters, because they have to have springs too to spawn.
Well, and the introduction of trout species was one of the things that extirpated the grayling out of Ontario in the beginning to start with.
Right.
If I'm correct.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And we do have a lot of people who listen to the show from Muskoka. So if anyone knows anything about this, because it was kind of hard to find. I just found it because I was interested in how Michigan would have it.
Yeah.
So when I looked it up, it said we did too. So
I wonder how many other provinces. I mean, that I'm sure. Well, I bet you northern Quebec.
for sure.
Well,
They
maybe
should.
not. Maybe it's too far east, though. You never know.
But
right?
it's just the cold. Like,
Yeah.
Hudson's Bay's got to be pretty cold.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Right?
yeah. For sure.
So, and now that begs the question. if Michigan is doing it, do you guys think that it would be a program that Ontario should adopt?
No.
I would love to
don't.
see it, but it would be such a waste of money.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I would think.
I'm in agreement.
would
There
just
would
be
never
a-
be a season for them either.
No, they would stalk them and say you can't fish for them. It'd be, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It'd be like this.
Yeah.
This
And they would get eaten
anomaly.
by everything.
Oh God.
Like pike and
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, if the brook trout and rainbows were a problem in the beginning, northerns would tear them apart.
You have to like clear out a lake and then put them in or something.
Yeah.
We so talking about going on with that, when we go to Great Slave Lake, Great Bear Lake in Northwest Territories, the lake trout get gigantic there, and one of their main sources of food is grayling, is Arctic grayling. They have the beautiful fin that goes up, but it's all soft rays,
Oily.
And they're oily. They get small scales on them, and these fish can just take them head first, boom, devour them, and it's just a pure protein and fat for them that they can eat, and it's a great food source for lake trout and pike too, but more lake trout because the grayling live down deep with the lakers in the summertime and that. So it's a huge thing for them. It's a food source that's probably their best food source until they start feeding on bigger lake trout. Like and sometimes grayling doesn't satisfy them. We've seen lakers in Northwest Territories and Nunavut that I've seen them with 10-pound lake trout in their mouths, 10-pound plus.
You got to be kidding me.
No, I'm
That's
not
a big
kidding.
lake trout.
I am. You're talking lakers like this that are T-bone, and that guy's swimming around with like a 30 or 40 pounder swimming around. Not even 20-something pounds will have a 10-pounder in his mouth.
Really?
I swear to God, I've seen it. It's the most freaky thing you've ever seen in your life. It's almost like they got in a fight and he's showing it off.
Like a
dog.
seagull trying to eat a football.
Yeah, it's exactly it. That's exactly it. So, anyways, I don't know. It's a neat story. I don't think it'd be money well spent from Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry. But you never know, right? Somebody might bring it back.
Well, at very least, see how it works out in Michigan first.
Yeah, exactly. Use the guinea pigs, right? So,
But they're very good. The Americans are very good at stocking
God.
programs and,
Atlantic salmon,
absolutely.
St. Mary's River.
Yeah.
Excellent program.
Yeah.
They've done it right. They've done a really good job there. So, yeah, for sure.
Hey anglers, want to turn your next catch into a competition? Well, check out Anglers Leaderboard, the new fishing platform that lets you track your catches, join friendly competitions, enter tournaments, and see how you rank against others in your region. Use your phone and the photo measure board to automatically detect length and species. No more guesswork. Whether you're fishing for pleasure or to compete, ALB makes every catch count. What's your ALB score? Well, get Anglers Leaderboard today and start climbing the ranks. Visit anglersleaderboard.com to learn more. This episode is brought to you by Sail. Sail is proudly Canadian and stocked with over 100 Canadian brands you know and love.
From rods and reels to sonars to kayaks and every last lure you've seen on the Fishing Canada show, Sail has all the gear to get you on the water.
Drop into one of 12 stores across Ontario and Quebec and talk to the real fishing specialists, or gear up online anytime at sail.ca.
Sail, the ultimate destination for your outdoor adventures. Stephen,
Yes, sir.
the hell else are we going to talk about, brother?
We
Well, where are we?
Oh, what do we got, Dean?
We do have one more commitment I need.
Okay.
The fan
question of
the fan question of the week.
Brought to you by fishfindermounts.com.
Yeah.
Mount that stuff on your boat, and you're going to be seeing lots of fishies. And here, there, and everywhere for sure. Stuff works great. So these guys they know their stuff. Their website is loaded. You just go on the website, fishfindermounts.com. Very easy to find that website. And you might get confused at how much they have there. The SKUs is endless. The number of SKUs is endless there. But they'll have what you want for sure. And it's quality stuff. We've used some shitty mounts in our day, including one on one of the boats here, and it's so nice to have good equipment. Right
Oh,
now.
absolutely.
That one I've been fuddling with all day, every day.
I think
here.
that
It's
one was homemade.
Oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. So it pays to spend some money on good stuff. So fishfindermounts.com. Fan question submitted from Caleb Duret via email. And info at fishingcanada.com or Facebook or Instagram again if you want to send the question. Stevie, pop it at us.
Hey guys, quick one for you. Have you ever been on a lake that just feels fishy, but you couldn't catch anything? I'm talking perfect structure, water temperature with bait everywhere, and still nothing. Do you trust your instincts in the moment, or do you pack up and move? Great question.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Great question.
That's a really good one.
I'll start it off by saying absolutely trust your instincts, but sometimes my instincts say move.
Right. I actually have changed lakes before, but it's not what he's. I'm not.
I know he's talking about actually moving out of the lake.
Right. You and I
Yes.
did a change one time. Remember we did Lake Ontario in the morning, and I said, Stevie, this is not happening. Let's go to Bay of Quinte.
Yeah.
We did that too. But on this, that was a different reason. That was
Yes.
because I knew the potential of that place. I knew everything about it, and
Yes.
it wasn't happening that day. I said, Stevie, I want to show you something else. So we went. But for this case. Usually, he says a lake that just felt fishy. And if I'm going to a lake, for the most part, I've looked into it. Like, for instance, Buck Lake here or something. We know this lake has got the potential for
Massive.
100 walleye in a day of
Yeah.
all sizes. And in that 100 walleye, you're going to have some 23, 24, 25, 26, up to a 30-inch walleye. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're going to get that. So when it's tough, like it's been for us the last couple of days, it's been tough for us. We've caught tons of fish.
Tons.
Honestly, tons. But we haven't got any real studs. We got one big one, and that was it. So we know the potential is here. So we're not... Obviously, we're in here, but I would be staying here until the fishing got good, because I know the fishing is going to get good and it's got the potential to get good. You know what I mean? So, you stay, like Steve says, you go with your instincts and
the other
stick with
thing
it.
too, when you if you're doing what we're doing and you go to a beautiful place with a wonderful reputation, and just like on the Upper French River, there are times whether Mayfly hatches.
We're going to talk about that.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will talk about it. It's a little interlude, right?
Very good, Steve.
I know. I'm working on it. You're blowing my cover. But you don't give up, right? You use everything that you have, and some days, you know what? You just take the information that you get. Sometimes that information isn't the information that you want, but it's always helpful, and enjoy the moment, especially when you're in a real fishy feeling place. That means that it's got to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I
mean, he's talking perfect structure, water temperatures, bait everywhere, and still nothing. Those are all great elements that a lot of good lakes have. And then and as long as it has a population of fish, you shouldn't expect a whole lot if you don't know anything about the lake. You know what I mean? If you're going in totally blind, let's go fishing on that lake. Well, you shouldn't expect to catch limits of 4 different species or anything like that. You know what I mean? You got to have some kind of a broad hope in there, I guess you'd call it. But if you know anything about the lake, then hey, I got to bear down, and something's wrong here. I know, like we'll talk about, like on Buck right now, we have a couple things going on, one in particular, and we know what's going on, so we have to change our ways to catch bigger fish.
Yeah.
So
listen, I know you fairly well, and I know your
Me?
capabilities. Yep. So what do you do when you go in and you see perfect structure, perfect water, and there's bait everywhere? And let's not even say you're not catching fish. How do you start to look for them?
I hate seeing bait everywhere. I like seeing bait here and there, little bits of bait here and there. I hate seeing bait everywhere. And then them fish are feeding up. Well, guys, the fish got so much of a food source. They just, I feel that they're just full and feeding and full, and they don't really care about anything else. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Let's be honest. Like when after you have a steak dinner like we had tonight, a magnificent steak dinner like we had tonight at the lodge.
Yes, it was outstanding.
How often do you go for a nice old, well, we had a dessert,
and
of course,
the tiramisu was out of this world.
You're not eating a hot dog after that. You know what I mean? So,
but
it's
in
tough
that sense, and I kind of learned this from the Americans at the Black Bass tournament. They when they were fishing and things got a little tough, they downsized. And this food analogy that we're kind of talking about makes sense, because what they were saying is, if you're already full, would you want to eat another steak, or would you grab a couple of potato chips or a few nuts? And I know that when I go back to the cottage, I know we don't have any, which is a good thing, planned. But if we had a bag of chips in an hour, even though I'm still full, I'm going to take a few.
Next to a bowl of jubes.
Oh,
damn!
Now you're speaking my language, right? But with those fish, they were downsizing, and they did very well doing it.
Yeah, that's a good key to think of. That we could get into. That's a whole other podcast for sure on sizing and baits and all that stuff. But when you say how would I attempt that, I mean, I'd have to look at a lake map, or map my own maps with my Garmin Quick Draw, and then look at what I think are the best structures for that time of year for those water temperatures and all that, and then find some cover, maybe if I need weeds, if there's wood, whatever, docks, if it's largemouth or something. I would have to do a kind of a whole learning process before I could do it effectively, and that normally doesn't take a day. You need more than a day for that. Even the tournament guys will tell you. They say we only get 3 days to practice, and that's on largemouth and or smallmouth and or spotted bass, and that's it. They only get, these are the best guys in the world. You only get 3 days to practice, and they still do well because they learn, mapping, all that stuff is done ahead of time and all that.
Research.
And then they start experimenting and process of elimination, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what we do here too. I mean, the thing about a lake like this on Buck Lake, the advantage we have here is that although we love using artificial baits, Yo-Zuri, jerk baits, crank baits, stuff like that. We started with that. If the fish are totally off and totally negative, we know that these lodges all have a source of minnows, worms, maybe leeches. They have live bait too, so we can always, back up on that kind of stuff too. So that can help you as well, especially if you're on a spot when you're seeing the fish and they're just not going on anything. They're lethargic. They're full of mayflies. They're full of whatever. Then you know what? Then you can go, maybe drop a little minnow or leech down there, and you might be able to catch a walleye. So it's a process of elimination. And it's not easy. It's not like people think, because we're on the TV and we do this all the time, oh my God, you go to any lake and just start smashing them. Well, that's just not the case. We got here, the first day we got here, we got a big fish. But after that, it's been hard to get big fish, but it's not been hard to catch fish.
And we know they're there.
We want giants. Oh,
we see them.
Yeah, we want giants. So that's always difficult too, right? You're looking for that trophy of any species. So in a walleye world, what we're looking for today on this trip is if we can get 25-inch fish and bigger, that's fantastic. You know what I mean? We'll take 23s and 24s as well, but if you can get 25s and bigger, and this lake's loaded with them. You know that. John Moffat tells us. I mean, I've seen pictures and we've been here. Ange and I have been here before, and they're here. So
we've seen them on the live scope. We've seen bigger fish, and we've seen how they're reacting. They come up, they look, and they say, hey,
no,
Steve,
you
Dean,
didn't.
Maybe next time.
That's part of fishing. That's the worst part of fishing, but it is part of fishing.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, thank you for that answer, Peter.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate that.
I don't even know if I answered it properly or not, but I gave you kind of my.
Well, hey, listen,
but
it illustrated how difficult it can be to go into a lake for the best in the world, and I consider you one of the best.
Oh, thanks,
hey,
Steven.
buddy, come here. You want a kiss?
No.
But honestly, you are one of the best at patterning and breaking down. You've been going into these shoots and fishing different water, and for people to go and choose a different body of water every time you go out, and then try and figure it out, and have to perform and have to catch the biggest fish and numbers. It's not an easy. It's just not easy.
People they have no idea how hard that is.
Well, how many really hours in an average fishing day do we spend on the boat?
Oh, this week, last 2 days. Well, we were Monday afternoon. We fished a few hours. So yesterday and today, we'd be out right now if we weren't doing this podcast, by the way, because it's raining outside. But we would be out because it's 8:41 in the evening right now, and we guarantee we'd be out because last night we were out till the first night we were out till 10, I think.
Yeah.
Last night we were out till 9:30 or 10 before 10 o'clock, and we were on the water early-ish. This morning we were on really early. We were out there at.
Well, it was
7.
before 7.
We were on the water before 7 because we were at our spot. I think we were around 7.
Yeah,
that's
right.
at the north end of the lake, 20-minute drive.
The real answer is we're on the water for the most part every day, unless we're doing things like this. As long as Rick says we can shoot.
Yeah.
And that has everything to do with how long the day is. So
Yeah, the
you know
daylight.
what? In June, we got long days.
We got long days. Yeah, the camper operators basically they say the shutdown time.
Yeah.
Say, guys, I can't shoot anymore. I can't see. Okay, boys, let's take off. As long as it's safe. We get home before daylight anyways, usually, or before nighttime, because we want to keep the daylight for driving the boat, so you can keep everything safe. But they're long days.
Yeah.
I have to say they're very, very, very long days.
But listen, folks, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel blessed to be able to do this. And the worst part of the day, every day for me, is when Rick says, hey, boys,
That's it.
we got 5 minutes of light. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we'll take you back to the lodge and I'll continue to fish, all right?
Yeah, exactly. We have done that. We do that a lot. A lot of times
Yeah.
the camera will shut down and we'll, Dean and I and Stevie will take off and do a little evening fish or something like that, just see if we can catch a big one. And, we know the camera's not going to ever be there because it's too dark or whatever. But we'll do that the odd time too. So we're kind of suckers for the long days. But that's what it takes to do this kind of stuff. Well, you got 3 days basically to shoot a show. So, and in 3 days, just like I was telling you with the tournament guys, it's not easy. Even on a world-class lake like this, it's still not easy because now it's easy to catch 100 walleye. It's not easy to catch 5 26-inch walleye. How's that?
And again,
in a day, let's say.
As from the perspective of a lodge owner, I remember we had absolutely crackerjack days and weeks of periods of time where the fishing was can't miss. But, it doesn't matter what body of water and how good it is, there are always times when the fish shut down due to factors that the angler can't control. And, it seems like we run into those sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
So you just work through them.
Yep.
But thank you for that too, Peter.
Well, it's like Caleb. Caleb started that whole question. Caleb direct via email. So remember emailing us at info@fishingcanada.com, Facebook. You can message us on Facebook or on Instagram. Can they send a question on YouTube, Dean?
It'd be ideal if they do on YouTube. That's where we're providing the gift card.
There you go. You heard it from
question
Dean
gets
right
picked.
there.
The gift card.
Yeah, we're trying to
That's
inspire
right.
people to interact with our YouTube channel. So I think the store manager has a $50 gift card right now up for grabs if you ask a question over there. So
There you go. If you feel like doing this, you might as well go on YouTube and when you're there, you can subscribe to Fishing Canada YouTube if you want. But
And this
that'd be very
question
nice.
might be a little bit out of order, but as the Countess,
Well, look, Ange gave $100. The Countess knocked it down to $50.
what about the free giveaways? I don't even know what to say on Diaries of a Lodge Owner anymore. Head on over to the free giveaways. Oh, wait a minute. The Countess has kind of pulled back on that.
No, Dino, what is there on that?
we've got some big stuff in the works. We used to give away a ton of small stuff, and it wouldn't cause as much of a stir. So this year we're just doing huge prizes. So we have a few big things in the works. So
Oh, right on.
keep an eye out.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. That I like that too. Everybody likes that. So
Yeah.
Would there be a boat motor and trailer in there somewhere?
I've heard some rumors. I've heard some,
Oh,
heard some
no
rumblings.
way.
Yeah, I've heard some rumblings.
No way.
You heard it at Buck Lake Lodge, everybody.
Oh, breaking news.
Speaking of which, what we were talking about with that question from Caleb, we were breaking down like what we're doing here this week. So again, I'll give you a quick synopsis as to what we're up against. We're in a world-class walleye lake that has some big pike in it too, but we're not here pike fishing. We want to catch walleye. So this is a world-class walleye lake. Fly in from Hornpain, Ontario. And when we got here, we were just the first night, maybe the next morning, we didn't really realize it. But then by the middle of fully yesterday, we looked on the surface, things got calmed down, and we could see the massive millions, I would say millions of mayfly, dead mayflies and mayfly husks, or what do you call them, carcasses or whatever they are that they leave. So we literally landed here on a mayfly hatch, and what that is just they hatch in the bottom of the lake. From the bottom of the lake, they float up to the surface.
The nymphs come up,
and on the way up, walleye just open their mouths just like whales on krill, and they just start eating this stuff, So
not just the walleyes, everybody out there.
But what we're after is the walleye, and they've really caught on to this this mayfly hatching. It happens. It'll be a week, maybe along, or something like that. Maybe 2 weeks. I don't even know how long it'll last.
Depending
and then
on
they'll
the
be
weather.
back on minnows and perch and everything else. But in this period, they will eat other stuff. But in this period, they really have an easy meal with mayflies because I'm not kidding you when I say millions. The surface of this lake is covered completely with all these mayfly. Are they carcasses or there's some dead ones too? You still have dead mayflies, full mayflies and all that stuff. So
they're called husks, I believe.
Yeah, husks. Yeah. Okay.
And not only are the walleye eating the mayflies, everybody else is eating the mayflies. So what happens is there's a congregation of all of the forage base, all of the fish, all of the fish that walleye love to eat and kind of have to move around to find, and everybody is congregated in the evening in the upper part when all of these flies are hatching, and the walleye not only can eat the flies, they've got their forage base right in front of them too. So now we're competing against all those schools of bait and the ciscos and the whitefish and everybody else that's there eating. So
yeah, true. I didn't know they hatch in the evening. Do they hatch?
Typically.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, that's why when we wake up in the morning, the lake is like covered.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I know when I've never cleaned one, but I know I've talked to people that have cleaned walleye that have been eating mayflies, and they say their stomachs are just full of just black fly carcasses and everything else in there. But it's something that you never see because we always, you open a fish up, take a walleye, you say, hey, what's that? And you see a perch, you see a couple of minnows or some shad. I've seen shad, lots of shad in the Bay of Quinte, stuff like that. But apparently this mayfly, when you cut it open and look at the guts, it's just pure black inside these things in there. And they load up on them. They eat like they just gouge and their guts get really fat. You see some of these fish this week. We'll catch a 14, 16-inch walleye, tiny little walleye, and the guts are like a bass gut. Eh? You see that?
Softball.
It's unreal how much they must be eating and all that. And I'm sure it's good for them, a little protein or something like that this time of year. Thank God it doesn't last long. That's the good thing about it. When you hit that mayfly hatch. And it doesn't stop them from eating a jig and a minnow. It doesn't stop them from eating a jerkbait. We've got fish on crankbaits and all that kind of stuff. So
and lots. Lots.
Yeah, you just got to kind of put that in your head that it's going to be maybe a little slower because of the mayfly hatch, but it's still going to happen in a place like this. So that's what we're up against this week. So we have that to deal with, along with, weather. We got rain today. We got a bunch of rain. That's why we're sitting in here, like we said earlier, a bunch of rain. So, but we'll deal with it. Got one more full day to do it, and we'll get her done for sure.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Anglers Leaderboard and its Spot Mapper feature. Spot Mapper connects your catch data to your spots, allowing you to view your catch history. With Spot Mapper, your locations stay completely private. Only you can access them, so your favorite spots stay your secret. Learn more at anglersleaderboard.com.
What else is going on in this lake that you're thinking of? What can you think of that we could tell everybody that you've?
Well, I'll go in a slightly different direction, but going on in the lake, on the shore. I can't believe that out here in the wilderness, in a fly-in, the accommodation and the main lodge, like this main lodge is new.
Oh, nice.
It's beautiful.
This is nice.
And the grounds here are beautifully manicured. There's full power. I think Ange thought we were going somewhere else.
That's, I think, why he tapped out of this one, and he didn't realize we have. And Angelo, if you're listening to this, buddy, okay, we have not one but 2 toilets in our cabin.
Come on,
we have
3 and 4 bedrooms.
4 bedrooms and 2 toilets, just to let you know, son. Okay.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows his fetish with this phobia. I guess you're not a fetish, but a phobia. Fetish with porcelain and a phobia with anything else.
Yeah.
So.
And the just the way that you're treated here, the hospitality is through the roof.
Yeah.
And it's all family. John and Shannon have done such a great job here. Being a former lodge owner and looking for the little things, I always like to put in my mind at the end of one of these shoots, because I love helping them. I know how difficult it is to be in this position and to want to provide everybody with an outstanding experience. And there's not a whole lot on my list of suggestions here, which says a lot.
Yeah. They
Right?
are top notch for sure. They've been like, we were here, excuse me, Ange and I were here maybe 10, not even 10 years ago. It was the same thing. The lodge wasn't quite, no, we went to Bingwood Cabins. We were at the other place. So they have two properties here, by the way. They have Buck Lake Lodge and they have Bingwood Cabins, which is not that far from here. And a quick little boat ride, a 5-minute boat ride, gets you to the cabins. We were there last time and it was great too, but they were all outpost cabins. So there's no main lodge there. This place is the main lodge, which you can still do a housekeeping or an American plan. They have a limited American plan here for a limited number of people.
And the food is great.
Oh my
like,
God.
I mean,
oh my God.
It's been outstanding.
And American
so far.
plan, American plan means that you get the lodge provides you the meals. You come in here, you pay extra for the lodge to provide you with breakfast, and they make you lunch for a box lunch. We're going to go for a shore lunch tomorrow, by the way. So, what day is it today? What the hell is tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday.
we never know we're on the road.
That's
so
one of the perks of having this job. You never know what day it is.
Wednesdays is shore lunch day, so they take both properties and they say Bingwood people and Buck Lake people, we're going to amalgamate at
Loon
Island. Yeah, look at you guys at noon tomorrow, and we are going to be there. We're going to be eating and filming that too. So that's going to be a big part of the show. We wanted to show. We haven't shown a lot of shore lunch lately, shore lunch stuff, and we're going to try and get into it a little bit. Maybe so some filleting of the fish. If we can get some pike, it'd be nice to even show how John fillets pike, because I know he does the fillet method, where Stevie does the 5 fillet method sort of things. There's a couple of different methods of filleting pike, and we'd really like to show that.
Well, and it's been some feedback from our viewers and audience.
They want to see the whole shore lunch, not just eating. Us eating
but
fish.
Really, who wants to watch us eat?
True.
I get it. I may have been guilty of sending a few emails on that topic.
I get you, buddy. So that's a big part of it too, right? It's the shore lunch day, or in a lot of lodges will allow you to do your own shore lunch if you want to.
Absolutely.
So you bring your little kit with you in the boat, and as long as you're safe, they'll have certain designated areas for shore lunches, and as long as you're smart and safe, you can do it yourself too.
And the other way of getting a shore lunch when the lodge itself doesn't provide it for everybody is a lot of times at places like this, you take a guide, and your guide does a private shore lunch for whoever is in the group.
That's
right?
the deal. That's a great deal.
That's something we specialized in. It's a wonderful experience. Billy.
Oh, Billy had a great treat. He did the best.
Yes, Billy.
Steve does the best Billy imitation.
Oh, Billy, I know.
I
don't think he actually listens, because I'm sure he would have said something to me by now.
I don't know if he would have. Billy's so mild mannered.
Oh, he is.
You know what I mean? He might say a joke. Hey, Stevie, what are you doing?
Stevie, what are you doing?
That's what Billy sounds exactly like.
Hey, Billy, it's the last day of the year here. What do you do for the winter? Stevie, I wait for spring. Wait for summer. It was always a wonderful little play on words that we did. He did it the first time. I near pissed myself and everybody else in the room. So on the last day, on closing day of the lodge at Thanksgiving, I'd wait for the main room to be as full of people as I could, and then I'd wait for Billy to walk in, because he would always come by and say goodbye to the guests as he was going out, and I'd say, "Hey, Billy, what are you doing for the winter?" Wait for summer.
I love it. Oh, God bless him, man.
Yeah,
He's an awesome
great
dude.
Man.
Oh, God. Anyways, that's it. Dino, you got anything else, buddy?
No, we're good. We're over time. We're good to go.
Oh my God, we went overtime. Beautiful.
Well, I try and stretch things out here.
Well, thanks everybody listening to the Outdoor Journal Radio, the podcast. Contest. Just remember the contest on fishingcanada.com. Dean was talking about some big ones coming up. Remember J&B Cycle Marine. Remember Sail. Remember who else we got, boys? Anybody else we can?
Anglers Leaderboard.
Anglers Leaderboard. Yeah.
The Invasive Species Centre, fishfindermounts.com, J&B Cycle.
There you go.
Not everyone.
And Rick
Nice.
Dolishny. Rick Dolishny.
And Buck Lake Lodge.
Of course, coming
Yes.
live from Buck Lake Lodge.
Fishbucklake.com.
Yeah, they got it. Honestly, you got to check them out. You gotta book a trip here, especially now with the new. I would highly recommend now coming to the Buck Lake property. You go to Bingwood too; it's great. But
Yeah.
come to this if you want the lodge experience. This little room we're sitting in right now, this is outstanding, second to none. So
Yeah, for sure. And thank you, Dean, and thank you, Rick.
Ricky D, first
Ravishing Rick
podcast.
Dolishny.
Ravishing Ricky D.
Yeah.
I love it. Thanks everybody for watching and joining us and listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
This episode of Outdoor Journal Radio has been brought to you in part by the Invasive Species Centre, protecting Canada's land and water from invasive species. Freedom Cruise Canada, rent the boat, own the memories. And J&B Cycle & Marine, your home for all things power sports, boats, and equipment.